What if the way we talk about desire today is completely wrong? What if the problem is not sex, not pleasure, not wanting more, but not understanding why we want what we want? Baruch Spinoza was a 17th century philosopher who believed that desire is not a weakness, but the very engine of human existence. The force that keeps us alive, moving, and striving. This idea feels uncomfortable today because we live in a culture that confuses freedom with excess. We are told that wanting more is the same as living better. Spinoza would strongly disagree. For him, desire can either expand your life or quietly enslave you, and the difference has nothing to do with morality, only with understanding. By the end of this video, you'll see why Spinoza believed that true freedom feels calm, not euphoric, and why so much of what we call pleasure today leaves us empty instead. Desire as the essence of life for Spinoza, desire is not superficial. It is not a flaw. It is not a sin. Desire, or cupiditas, is the essence of what it means to be human. Every living being is driven by conatus, the natural effort to persist, to exist, and to increase its own power of being. Sexual desire is simply one expression of that force. In itself, sex is neither good nor bad. It has no moral value by default. What matters is how desire is lived. The problem is not desire itself, but desire without understanding. Sex, as passion, when desire controls us. Spinoza calls passions the desires we do not fully understand. When sexual desire becomes a passion, it turns into libido, not as pleasure but as bondage. It becomes unstable and conflicted. Desire based on inadequate ideas creates jealousy, fear of loss, and emotional dependence. We stop loving freely. We begin to cling. It also becomes excessive. Pleasure pursued without reason weakens the body and clouds the mind. Modern culture sells intensity as happiness. Spinoza calls that a misunderstanding of joy. Always chasing stimulation, the individual becomes a servant of immediate gratification, never fulfilled, never at rest. And finally, desire becomes superficial. What is based only on appearance or momentary pleasure is unstable by nature. A pleasure that leaves you empty afterward was never real joy. Spinoza is not judging behavior here. He is explaining consequences. Sex, as action, when desire becomes freedom. Now comes the turning point. Spinoza does not argue for repression. He does not praise abstinence as virtue. True freedom comes from understanding desire, not denying it. When sex and love are guided by reason, they become actions rather than passions. A free person seeks pleasure moderately, not because pleasure is bad, but because excess reduces our ability to think clearly. For Spinoza, anything that diminishes clarity of mind cannot be called freedom. This is why he believed wisdom feels calm, not euphoric. Pleasure, when aligned with reason, increases our power to act. It makes life lighter, not heavier. Understanding desire is not about control. It is about alignment. Love, community, and the highest joy. In its rational form, love is no longer just attraction. It becomes friendship, cooperation, and shared purpose. Spinoza considered stable unions rational not because of tradition or moral rules, but because they promote the freedom of the mind, the wise education of children, and social cohesion. And this leads to his highest idea. The ultimate joy of human life, beatitudo or blessedness, does not come from repressing desire. It comes from understanding reality itself. Spinoza's God is not distant. God is nature, reality clearly understood. When desire and reason move in the same direction, joy becomes stable. It no longer demands constant stimulation. This is where philosophy stops being abstract and becomes deeply practical. Spinoza challenges both repression and excess. Freedom is not doing whatever we want. Freedom is understanding why we want what we want. Sex, love, and desire are not enemies of wisdom. When understood, they become expressions of it. Not a fire that consumes us, but a force that sustains us.